Alright, children, welcome back to the chapter Environment. In the previous part, we looked into air pollution in detail, so we'll continue from where we left off. We will move on to what is water pollution. Now, when you see water pollution, waste from industries, farms, and sewage from homes as well as hospitals are thrown into nearby rivers, lakes, oceans, and streams. And this causes water pollution. Now, when you see water pollution as such, the effect of water pollution on animals that live inside water is huge because the factory wastes contain poisonous substances which will affect and often lead to the death of fishes and other animals that live inside water. If you can see, this fish is actually crying for help. It's telling, hey man, you gotta be careful with my home because it is my home also. It's not just something that belongs to you that you will do whatever you feel like with it. And not just these, if you end up drinking such contaminated water or you eat fish which have died because of poisoning inside water, can even make us ill or even make us sick. So we're not just affecting our environment, we're indirectly affecting ourselves. Now, if you see, there are several diseases that are caused because of water pollution. Like, for example, drinking water polluted by sewage contains germs, and these germs can cause diseases like dysentery, jaundice, and typhoid. These are major diseases. It can even get very complicated and lead to death. So, water poisoning is something which is very dangerous. Then we have soil and land pollution. Soil and land pollution is equally as bad as water and air pollution. Now, farmers use chemicals to kill weeds as well as insects, and they use fertilizers to grow more crops. Now, when these chemicals, that is the fertilizers and pesticides, are used in excess, they lead to soil pollution. And when it rains, these chemicals get washed into wells, rivers, and lakes, and this poisons the water that we drink. Poisonous waste from factories are also buried in land, which leads to pollution of our land. We even throw solid waste like plastic and glass bottles, we throw old machine parts, we throw rubber tubes, cans, etc. into garbage dumps. And these are actually non-biodegradable and they cannot be destroyed easily. They just remain there for years and years. And then when we try to burn them, they give out poisonous gases into our atmosphere, which in turn leads to air pollution. So one way or another, human activity is actually ruining our environment. Then we have the next one, which is noise pollution, which is quite annoying sometimes. When you see noise pollution, loud noises from vehicles, loud speaking, and machinery can actually harm people. And this can cause blood pressure and deafness in people. Even in animals, it can cause the same effect. And children, did you know that living near airports can actually be very harmful to your ears? Even loud music causes noise pollution. So if you see this picture here, it pretty much sums up everything that causes noise pollution. You have industries which produce noises, you have moving, honking vehicles which create so much of noise pollution. You have aeroplanes that fly with such a loud noise, music from the disco which is too loud for you to enjoy, and a neighbor's dog barking. And this guy is literally saying, oh God, there's just too much noise. So this wraps up the part about pollution. Let's move on to the next part of the chapter, which is natural resources. So what are natural resources? Our survival on Earth depends on the things that our environment provides us. For example, it gives us air, water, soil, food, fuel, and other materials with which we can build our houses and make our clothes. So all of these things are called as natural resources. So you can see in this picture right here, we have all the natural resources that our environment is providing us. And we are using more of these resources today than we did a few years ago. For example, we use petrol, we use diesel and other fossil fuels that we're getting from our environment. And scientists believe that these resources are limited and soon they're all going to run out. They're going to be completely over. We won't have any more petrol, diesel, or any of these fossil fuels left for us to use. And due to pollution of air, water, and soil, the quality of these natural resources also is affected. The quality is deteriorating and coming down. The quality is not so good as it was many, many years ago. So what can we do to save our environment? This is the major and the most important question that we have to be asking today. The first thing that we can do is try to use alternate sources of energy such as solar energy and wind energy. So in your houses, fix solar panels so that you have solar water heaters. Second, we should take efforts to control air, water, and soil pollution. So we should do what little we can as citizens to help save the environment. Third one, cutting down of trees is being reduced and more trees are being planted to conserve soil as well as wildlife. Then, air pollution can actually be reduced if people use more of public transport, like you have buses, you have autos. These are all public transport, instead of using our own private car or a two-wheeler. And to travel short distances, we should prefer going by walk, or if it's a little further away, we could use our bicycles. So with this, we are also maintaining our fitness and we're helping to save our nature. The fifth one is that we must educate the farmers about safer ways of farming. We should tell them that use of too much of fertilizers and pesticides cause harm to our environment. So we must teach them how to use them just enough as much as required. And the last one, we must try to reuse and recycle whatever materials are there, such as bottles, jars, cans, and newspaper. We must try as much as possible to reuse these materials rather than just throwing them away. So with this, we wrap this chapter up. Let's do a quick recap of what we studied under Part 2. So under Part 2, we looked at water pollution and we saw what all disasters can happen because of water pollution. We spoke about soil and land pollution. We saw how factories and homes and hospitals dump their wastes into land, polluting it. Then we spoke about noise pollution and how much of a nuisance noise pollution can be. Then we spoke about all the resources that our environment is actually giving us, which we call as natural resources. Lastly, we asked the most important question: how to save our environment? What can we do to help the environment? So with this, we complete this chapter. Children, I'd like to leave you with one small message. Mother Nature too needs care and protection. Show her your care by caring for her trees. Love trees, love nature. Because our ultimate mother is our environment, our Mother Earth, and it's our duty to protect her. Thank you.